Hey, folks, we are live with Philadelphia Stage Combat Workshop. We are live with a conversation with the amazing Kev McCurdy. I always get flipped with the way the camera flips things. But yeah, we are so excited to have Kev join us this year for the workshop. And I personally am so freaking excited to get a chance to ask some questions. But more importantly, just reminding everyone who's watching, if you have a question live, put it in the comment section of Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Put it in the comment section and we can actually ask those questions live. So hopefully we'll get some folks. If whenever you tune in, make sure you at least say hi in the comment section so that we know you're there. So I'm also gonna do the Instagrams, trying to be all hip with the kids. Cool. So if you have any questions after this live stream is done, you can always send those questions to our email, philascw@gmail.com. Don't forget to register as a student ASAP. Those class slots are starting to fill up and it's really freaking awesome to see. I don't know if we can get this hashtag going. Since the Social Distance Showdown started October, the Philly Stage Combat Workshop is ending October. We're kind of sandwiching October with a lot of stage combat and swords, so it's going to be great. So first off, hi Kev, how you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Not too bad. Where exactly are you in the UK right now?
I am in Cardiff at the moment. I'm in Wales.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my home. It's been my home for over 25 years now, and this is basically where my fight life began. So it's a lovely place to be. It's so chilled. It's so multicultural. Everybody gets on with everybody else. It's so friendly down here.
Nice.
So yeah, can't live anywhere else now.
Cannot wait to get my butt over to the UK. I want to do like England, Scotland. Like I want to do the whole thing at some point in my life.
Hell yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we've already got some comments coming in, some love coming in from Alberta. I don't know if you remember Janine Waddle.
Yeah, hey Janine, how you doing, babe?
There you go. So the first question I have for you, because we've got lots of different folks from lots of different perspectives in the stage combat community. And for our workshop, you are our UK perspective for those who aren't quite familiar. So what are some favorite memories as a student, as a teacher working with students? What are some of your favorite stage combat memories of coming up?
Basically one of my favorite ones is the first one when I walked into the combat room on my first day at drama college. There was basically just a bunch of swords on the floor, and the teacher wasn't there. So my class was literally just staring at them. So me being me, I just walked over and picked one up and literally swung it once. I did a Molineo. I had no idea what that term was. I'd never heard of it before. I never held a sword before, but I just swung it and looked at it and I just went, yeah. And that was it. That was it.
There you go.
And then 5 years later, I became a teacher.
Nice.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then from there, did another 3.5 years training and then became professional fight director with Equity. And unbeknown to me, that particular time, I became the first person of color to be on the fight register of Equity since 1969. So, and still am. So yeah, I know it's crazy, but it's so good. It's so good, so it's just that basically. it's been a crazy journey, and meeting ridiculously talented people, and all around the world, and it's just been so much fun. And working on ridiculous projects that you sit there on TV, you sit there watching a TV screen, and you dream about working on things like that, but you think you're never ever going to do it. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get a phone call saying, "Hi, heard about you. Do you want to come in and have a chat?" And it's like, yeah, okay. And then boom. So, yeah.
I was taking a look at the bio that you sent us, which for anyone watching, if you're curious about Kev's bio, you can actually go to our website, go to the About section. You can actually pull up all the bios for all of our staff members, because we have such amazing folks from all over the place. I'm gonna be asking some questions later about a very specific kind of credit you got on there, because the geek in me is like,
okay.
You've gotten a chance to do some travel and go to different workshops around the world in some cases. What are some of your favorite memories from specifically workshops? Because there's a very big difference between like in school, in the classroom, kind of consistent work. And then there's a different feel when you travel to a workshop and you're teaching at a workshop where people are coming from all over. What are some of your favorite memories from specifically workshops?
Banff is an absolute smash hit. That one kind of like changed my life and how I was going to work. We all met in Edinburgh in '93, I think, and that was with Mr. Rose and Nigel Polton, Scott Witt, Nikki J. I mean, everybody was on that workshop, and it was just brilliant. Just seeing how all these different styles got together, and it just worked. And my head just went boom. And that's when I first met Pops and Lloyd and Brad Waller, and seeing how they worked kind of like gave me the green light to do what I do the way that I do it, because I hadn't come across anybody that moved like me in the fight world in the UK at that particular time. And I was always told to slow down and don't move like this, and you have to move like this in a particular way. And I was getting very frustrated. So then as soon as I hooked up with Pops and I saw what he was doing with Brad, and then Lloyd as well, added on top of that with his methodology, I was like, I'm going to do what I'm doing, because I'm basically doing what they're doing. And if they're doing it and they're having a career, then I'm going to do it. I'm not going to listen to anybody else. And that was a game changer for me. So then I just developed it, and then working more with Pops, working more with Lloyd, working with Brad, and then working with everybody else, Scott, Nigel, it's kind of like just grew from there. So when we went back to Canada the next year, and then meeting loads more people, just kind of like just blew my head again. I thought, this is what I truly want to do for the rest of my life. That's it. And as doing all the acting on top of that, which I've done, directing, movement directing, so on and so forth. But meeting the individuals that I've met, that kind of like for me is just, it's the icing on the cake, basically. That's all everyone wants to do, is just have fun, teach, be with like-minded people, and just share information. There is no fight. There is no secrecy. We all teach exactly the same thing, albeit in a different way, different techniques, but we all do it. There's no secrecy. So, let's just get on with it and have some fun.
Dang straight. Yeah, I love it. Let's see, what question do I want to ask next? What is it about, specifically for actors or for just folks who want to pick up a new skill? What is it about stage combat training, from your perspective? What is it about stage combat training that is so important for performance? What does it add to what we're doing as theater artists?
It adds a totally new dimension to storytelling. That's why it is for me anyway. You know, you can go on stage and you can tell a particular story, and that's fine. You can tell it in a particular physical way, and that's fine. But you know, but you kind of like, you can get those, you can have those same intonations throughout. With stage combat, this is totally unique, because you have the physicality of telling a story, and then you go into a realm where, unless you're actually in a conflict situation where you have to just blitz out and you can't say anything, you just have to use your fists or use whatever, you know, you're still trying to get the information over. And it's that in stage combat. You know, what I describe stage combat is, it is a physical representation of a spoken argument.
Oh, I like that.
You know, so you can only talk so far, then you have to break out into that. And it's our job to make sure that it's organic. You know, there's a lot of times when you see the story being told and then there's a stop point. Then it breaks out into a fight, because in the dialogue it says, and they fight, and then it stops, and then it carries on again. And it should never be like that. It is a continuation. So it literally should go story, spoken, fight, spoken. That's it. You know, there should never be a break. If there's a break, then something is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so it just has to be organic.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's a huge part of storytelling, you know, is being organic. And if it's not organic, then something is going wrong. Yeah. You know, and there's the challenge as well, you know, so that's why it's unique. It's a challenge to keep that through line of the story going all the way through. You know, there should never be a break, you know.
Thanks, Ray. Love it. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing with us at the Cheesesteak this year. Let's talk about some of the classes that you're teaching this year. That way folks get a little kind of preview of what to expect when they sign up for your classes. So like, first on the list that you sent us, your approach to knife.
Yeah.
What is that class going to be about?
Knife for me is, apart from unarmed, it is my favorite weapon. Purely because you use your whole physique when you're using this weapon. It's not just what I call the triangle of death, which is from here to here. You know, it is the full body. It's a full body workout if you use it right. Yeah. You know, and it opens out doors, it opens out angles. I mean, you could go mathematical with this, you know. And also when it comes to the fact of how to, you know, literally a small movement here tells a massive story when you're doing a block. If you're blocking with a knife, you're blocking, striking, and you're in, you know. Or it's the fact of, if something is coming towards you here, it's whether or not you want to block with this or you want to block with a knife. You know, if you block with the knife, then you're blocking the arm with the knife. Therefore, it becomes a strike. So it's a counter strike. So therefore, then whatever you bring in, you're going to get hit. And a lot of the times when you see knife fights, they're amazing, they're very pretty, they're very clean, but there's no threat, there's no danger. And I've done live knife fighting, I've practiced it. And it's, you know, because I'm like that, I think, well, you know, if I'm going to go halfway, I'm going to go all in. You know, so I've got to try it. And it's the fact of, you've got somebody here who doesn't want to be hit. I don't want to be hit with a knife. That person didn't want to be hit with a knife. But you have to go through your genetic code of going, I have to go in and try and do damage and not being hit at the same time. The fight for me then becomes totally different. It is not a stylized thing. Every single move is a block and a counter. And that's what I want to look at when we're doing, you know, when we're going through the drills, we're going through the cuts 1 to 8, we're looking at the blocks, you know. It's the fact of how you block, how you cut, where the cut comes from, you know, more so than, right, we're just going to do a cut. And I also go into anatomy work as well. So I'll tell you what the cut does.
Oh, I love that.
You know, so I apologize now if any of you out there are a bit squeamish, but I have to do this.
Yeah, you kind of can't go into knife and be squeamish. You kind of have to go in knowing what you're getting. with that.
Yeah. Well, I've done knife classes before with other people, and they've never gone there.
Okay.
They've never gone there. They just go, yeah, there you go, and you get a cut 1, and you get a cut 2, and I'm there with my hand up going, what does that do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
What does that do? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what are you aiming for? What happens with the body? What happens? How deep are you going in? You know,
Yeah.
and there's a blank look on their face, and I'm like, so you don't know? Okay, then. Thank you. Appreciate that. Great. We'll just do the generic, shall we? Because this is all you know. And so I like to get deep. You know, I like the psychology, I like the physiology, you know. So hopefully if you come into the knife class, then, you know, you'll come out a little bit more worse for wear, but also at the time with a lot of knowledge, you know. So that's what I want to give.
I might need to sit in on that, because like I love all that. I love getting into that nitty gritty. Cool. In your description for your knife class, you talk about, and we'll come back to the other 2 classes in just a second. In your description for your knife class, you talk about your body response technique.
Yeah.
Is there a way to kind of give a little comment about what that is without kind of giving it away? Because we want people to come to the class and learn more about it.
It's my own system that I've built up over the years through working in martial arts, going on the door, doing door work. It all started when I did Tai Chi. I'd never known about what the body truly did until I started Tai Chi. We worked with a Tai Chi master in college for 13 weeks, and basically he literally exploded my head. He was so specific on how he moved, and we did it blindfold as well. So we became ultra sensitive to energies. We were fighting blindfolded, we were moving blindfolded, and we knew exactly where everybody else was in the room. It was unbelievable. And you do these little movements called adjustments, where I think I'll be doing a particular move, and for example, I'm doing a ward off. So there's a ward off. I'm coming through here like this, and my thumb is like that. And he'd literally come in and go, and then he'd say, do the move again. And so do the move again. And my whole line had changed on that. And he'd go, right, that's it. And these, you know, to being so specific on that was like, right, okay. And being so sensitive about energy and how a touch can, you know, it's not just this area that I'm touching here. It's not just this that's responding. It's the here. You know, it's responding over to here. This affects here. And it's how that happens to that more so than it's just that, you know, and how to learn about components and, you know, the muscularity of how nerves work. I mean, it was so specific and it blew my head. So I knew a fair amount of stuff movement-wise, but I was very raw to it. But that literally became my foundation. So everything that I knew, I stripped off. I used Tai Chi as a base. Then the information that I knew, I built on top of that. So therefore, I built my own system. And then working with other people in various art forms and stuff, and doing competition fighting as I did in Taekwondo and so on and so forth. Kind of like built my own style up. So I became very responsive, very susceptible to movement, and using this BRT system as well. If you get it right, you'll never stand in a queue the same way again. Right? Because you learn so much about territory.
Okay.
You know, so you become so aware of your own space. So when it comes to coronavirus, you'll know. You know, because you'll become so aware of your own space when you're in a place, you know, you become very heightened. So yeah, so that's kind of like the, you know, the tip of the iceberg for BRT.
Love it. Like even more, I'm like, okay, I might have to be the person kind of helping to monitor your class. Like,
cool.
Okay,
cool.
A little selfish pick there. All right. So let's come back to the classes, and I wanted to chat about the body response technique, because you do refer back to it in some of your other class descriptions.
Hmm.
So let's talk about kick and punch combos. What are you going to be talking about with your kick and punch combos?
Kick and punch, yeah, kick and punch combos. Basically, I'm going to be teaching a routine. So I'm going to be teaching your side to you, and then I'm going to have my side, and again using BRT. So if I throw a punch, you will react to it in a particular way to duck underneath, and you're going to throw your techniques back at me. So therefore, I'm going to react to those, and then I'm going to come back at you. So everything is going to be to the camera, bang. So it's going to be hitting that. So if you do a shot, so say for example now, throw a left hook at me.
This is my left. Okay.
Yeah, throw a left hook, and you're going to be coming. Yeah, to there. All right. So therefore now the choice is, shall I take it or shall I block it? So I'm going to take it. So as you throw your left hook, you're going to pop it. So I'm going to, yeah. All right. So we're going to have that. And so therefore then if you throw a straight right as well, so you go left hook, straight right.
Okay.
Yeah. Go pop. Yeah. Straight right. Bang. All right. So we've got that. Yeah. So then from there, so we've gone left, straight, right, bop. I'm going to throw swinging roundhouse right. Okay. Yeah, which you're just going to slightly lean back on. So hit your left. So you're going left, straight, right, bang, coming through, lean back. Yeah. Okay. So that's how the fight is going to be. Okay. And then we'll throw some leg techniques as well. So side kick, probably a roundhouse kick, probably a knee in as well, a couple of elbows as well, you know. So, but I won't be this close. I'll be more or less 3/4, you know. So then you know, we'll be able to throw properly, you know, and then you can just react to that. And then we'll learn the skeleton of the fight. Then we'll go back over it and start to put the nuances in it, you know, so start to refine it. So then we'll have the blocks here. So it's not just a fact of, and we block and we punch and we block and we punch, you know, it's how you block, you know. Fights are messy, dirty, ugly. They're not every single time like the Avengers and everything like that, you know. I like messy, dirty, ugly. I told an A-lister that once, and he looked at me as though I was absolutely mad until I showed him. I says, we're going to do this fight. You and me are going to do this fight. Trust me. Don't think about form. Just fight. You know. So we did a 20-move fight, full on 20-move fight, and you know, we got up at the end of it, and he was like, "Okay, that didn't feel good." And I went, "Just watch it back." And he watched it back, and he was like, "Okay. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, I like that. You know, so yeah, messy, dirty, ugly sells. Nice being nice, nice being pretty, nice being good. But at the same time, as an audience member, I want to be able to connect with it. I don't want to sit there and go, I appreciate it, but can I do it? No. You know, whereas if I'm here and going smack and then bang and coming through, and then it's kind of like, yeah, I can relate to that because I would do that. I wouldn't go, you know, I wouldn't do it.
Nice.
Not in the street. Not been in a couple of street things, and there's no way I would do that.
Love it. Oh man. So, all right, let's shift to the last class that you've got on the docket: reactions and how to play body pain. So tell us a little bit about what that class is going to entail.
Reactions. Basically, it's, again, we're so conditioned to the fact of how to be hit. We take a punch, bang, and we do that. Where in fact, it doesn't happen like that at all. You know, depending on the angle of the punch, depending on whether or not it's coming in this way, it could be slightly like this, it could be slightly like that. But because we're watching it and we're doing stage, we can't really do that because we haven't got time, basically. Right. You know, so we just do a generic coming across, and so then we play the hit wherever we need to. Whereas I like to go in depth. So if, for example, I get hit here, it's what happens to this. This will either do this, this will either do this, this will either do this. So you can see just by doing that, it changes where my head is going to go. So therefore, then I want to look at that. That to me is exciting. That's important, more so than just, and we're just going to do this, you know, because it could do this. We could do that. It could do this, you know, and come up, you know. And if we get hit on the jaw, this doesn't stay, you know, that happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just this, you know, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You know, and where the whiplash happens, you know, because if you've ever been in a real fight, you may get punched in the face, you may get punched on the jaw here. You're not going to feel it there. You're going to feel it where the hinges are.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to feel it to the back of your head because you've had whiplash. You know, but that comes after, you know, but it's a really good thing to know about when you're doing a stage fight, because you may want to play the residue of that effect later on in the scene. So you might be rubbing your face and going, oh God, oh, you know, so you're playing the pain. It's not just, you know, pain is good. Pain is a really important concept of stage combat. If you can play the pain, it broadens the fight out. Otherwise, just it becomes generic and it's boring. And I work on a 70-30 principle. 70% of an audience have never been in a fight. Fact. Right? They may have had loads of shouting matches and they call that a fight, but it's not a fight. 30% of an audience have been in some type of a physical fight. You're not going to know about it. As an artist, as an actor, you are not going to know about that because you're going on and you're doing your thing and thank you very much. You're never going to know that, you know? So my ruling is represent the 30, educate the 70. Yeah, you have to represent the violence. You have to represent that 30% that have been in that situation, because those are the ones that will connect with you. The 70% are the ones that are going to go, oh my God, that's amazing, that's wonderful. Can I have your children because you're so good? You know, the 30%, yeah, the 30% are the ones that you have to get. If you can get the 30%, you've won. If you don't get the 30%, then you've done a really nice stage combat fight. That the 70% are going to go, oh, that's great, but it means nothing.
Right. Oof.
Yeah. So, yeah. And when it comes to reactions, it's showing what hurts and how, and what the trauma is, and how you can play the residual on that. So we'll be looking at that as well.
Love it. Love it. Like when all this COVID stuff is done, we need you physically in Philly. We need, or at least.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm definitely coming over. I'm so coming over.
Freaking COVID.
Yeah. I'm coming over, and I'll just stay in a tent or something, and I'll stay for a week. I will do as many classes as you want. It is not a problem. You
will, trust me, you will not be in a tent with the amount of folks that are like, no, I want to house them. No, I want to house them. No, I want to house them.
And the BRT system works in any weapon form.
Okay.
Any weapon form.
We just got another comment on the Facebook page. Like, descriptions are getting people hype.
Cool. So, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Nice. Looking forward, man.
So this is gonna be a lot of fun. So cool. All right, what is let's let's shift back to some of the professional work that you've done, because you've got quite an extensive resume from what you sent us. Like that, you got a lot. You've been busy.
That's just a tip. That's just a tip of it.
Oh, I can't even. What do you think was? Could you tell us a little bit about, like, what was the most challenging job that you feel like you've been on? Whether it's theater, whether it's film, whether it's opera. Like, what do you think you can pinpoint one, or like one of the most challenging jobs you probably have been on?
Yeah. National Theatre. I mean, there's Batman Live World Tour as well, but I'll come back to that. Yeah, National Theatre doing a play called The Bow Stratagem.
Okay.
And it's on a 3-level set. And we had all of the cast on stage, running up and down a 3-level set, having different fights on every single level, as well as sword fights. So we had sword fights happening, comedy fights happening, people stumbling up and down stairs, people running around the stage. We had a fight with a fish as well. So we got this big fish and being smacked around the head with a fish. Being smacked against the wall. And it was in one sequence. And it was 2 minutes. It was a 2-minute sequence, and we had to start from the bottom and from the top simultaneously, and it had to cross. So everybody fought with everybody else, and then it crossed back down, and then it finished. We had the one guy finishing on the bottom, we had another guy finishing at the top, and they were the heroes. And it was kind of, we had to get the timing right because it had to fit music as well.
Whew.
And that was hard. That was hard. That was hard. I mean, it was great, but I had one session to set everything as a skeleton. And the director, wonderful director, I've worked with him many times, and he says, well, this is what I need, da, 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 da. And I looked at it and I was like, well, yeah, I could do that in 2.5 hours, yeah. Never say that again, never. Yeah, I've got 2.5 hours. I did it, but I was broken.
I was going to say,
because I was literally, because the way I choreograph, I play everybody.
Yeah.
So I have to see if it works. So I'm literally running up and down these stairs. I'm running up 3 levels, 3 floors, going with this. Yeah, that'll work. And if you do this and do that, so then I'm looking down about 15 feet, going, yeah, if you do this and run over there and do that, that'd be great. And then you do this and do that. Well, I've got this. I've been smacked over there, and then I run up to there. Okay, let's go. Smack. Okay, that works here. So they're running around. That was mental. Batman Live World Tour. That was crazy, but also so freeing because the director just went, do what you want.
Ooh, always fun.
So I was fighting styles created for Batman, Robin, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Penguin, Two-Face, plus the Joker and all of the Joker's henchmen. So there was 36 of us on stage at one time, doing this massive fight, this video style fight where Batman would take on 3 lots of 4 in a line. So then he would come along and go, bang, 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 and knock those out. And then the Joker would go, that's really good. Let's see what else you got. And then they would reset. And then we'd do a different fight.
Okay.
And so then we'd finish that off and go, God, you're really good, Batman. I love what you're doing. Let's do it one more time. And so we'd reset again and do that. So 12, 24, 36. And it wasn't even repeated. It was different. I had to do it different every single time. But that was an amazing show. I mean, we had a full hot air balloon that got blown out the sky with a bazooka. We had 100-foot bat screen. We had a state-of-the-art, brand new Batmobile built for the show. 3 were made. And we have a show over here called Top Gear. I don't know if you have it over there.
I've seen it.
Right, but they came as well because it turned out that if you put an engine in it, it was roadworthy.
What?
So it was kind of like, right. So as soon as we found that out, we all went, to the opening of the Batmobile. They had a special opening for the Batmobile. And beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery. And we had so much fun on it. It was hard, but everybody on it was amazing. All the circus performers, the fight performers, that were on it were just top of the game. They were just amazing. And we got so fit on that show, 2 workouts a day, every single day, and we were in rehearsal for 7 weeks. And then the show ran, then it ran.
Right.
So we went all over the UK, and then we went to Vegas. So we opened it in Vegas.
So, like, the Batman geek in me, and this isn't even like the geek question that I was going to ask. That is still yet to come. But the Batman geek in me is like, why did that not have a wider tour? I would have so come to see that.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh
It's supposed to have ran for 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
You know, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers was on it. Warner Brothers were all over it. You know,
Right.
but we just have no idea why it failed. Don't know.
Gotcha.
You know?
So the geeky question that I have that I saw on your resume, you've worked on Doctor Who.
Correct. Not being in it.
Whovian in me is like, okay, first off, it was the Doctor Who Christmas special and Torchwood.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to work on the Doctor Who series in general, as opposed to just the Christmas special, or was it the Christmas special?
It was the Christmas special, and then I was supposed to have worked on Tooth and Claw, but then I was passed over for that. There was just mad political stuff going on for some reason, and so I got passed over for that. You know, but working on the Christmas special was great. You know, I played the Sycorax as well.
You played. Oh, now I'm gonna. So, which Christmas special?
Dave Tennant one.
The first David Tennant one? When
he's in his pajamas and he's fighting on the ship, yeah.
And he gets his
hand chopped off.
You played the Sycorax that was fighting him?
In the interior of the ship. Yeah. You know, so yeah, I mean we had 1.5 hours to shoot this particular scene. So we'd shot the majority of it. And David was brilliant. Sean, who was playing the Sycorax as well, brilliant. So they did the majority of the fight. And so we had a jib camera that hadn't been used, and we needed to use it. And so the director was bouncing around going, "We've got a jib camera, it's costing us X amount of thousand a day, we haven't used it yet, and we've got 1.5 hours." And we were filming in a bunch of caves called Clearwell Caves. And so you can only stay under there for 1 hour, 15 minutes before you have to go back up topside if you're wearing contact lenses, because there's no air.
Okay.
And so the contact lenses were fused to your skin. So Sean had to go back up and be topside for half an hour to get his eyes accustomed again and get the lenses out and, you know, hydrate his eyes and stuff. So we're losing time. So Sean's up topside. Director's freaking out. David and I are looking at each other, and Dave went, "Well, Kev knows the fight." So I look at Dave and I'm like, "That's right, I do know the fight. Put me in the costume," you know. So the director looked at me and went, "You the same height?" I says, "I'm the same height as Sean. I'm the same shoe size as Sean, you know, and yes, I choreographed the fight, so yeah, I know the fight, you know." And he just grabbed a walkie and, you know, just went, "Get the other costume ready, get the stunt mask ready. I'm sending our fight choreographer now. Get him dressed." So bang, so legged it up through the caves, got dressed, having the mask on, and because it was still secrecy as well, it's covered with a sheet so nobody could see what was going on. Went back down the caves and we shot for the next hour and a half, just doing this fight, and so everybody else could get their various shots that were needed, wiping across the camera and stuff, and hands and blah blah blah. But yeah, that's me. So any close-up shots that you see of hands or going across camera and stuff, that's all me. And there's a top shot as well, that's me. You know, and there's only 2 copies in the world that has the full rehearsal footage of that fight, and I've got one of them.
Nice.
You know,
very
there's only
cool.
2 in the world, and I've got one of them, and
nice.
That's not being sold for nothing.
That's great. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be later today going back and watching that. That'd be awesome. what was it? So in general, overall, between the Dr. Christmas special, between Torture, what has it been like working in the Whovian world?
Oh, it's been superb. It's literally been superb. It's been so much fun. I've done a convention, and that was lovely. That was really, really nice. And that's when you really have to appreciate the Whovian world. So many people come there and are so passionate about the whole world in general and every single character, and how they carry their things, their books and their magazines, and they get dressed up in the costumes, and some of the costumes are amazing. You just have to sit there and go, wow. I mean, this one guy came, he had a book, it was this thick, right? It was that thick, and he just had it in a carrier bag. This is what I didn't understand. He had it in a carrier bag, and he opened it, and he had signatures of the last 25 years, right, of everybody that had been in Doctor Who. This one book was, you're talking thousands of pounds, and he just had it in a carrier bag, and he just went, "Can you sign? Could you sign my book?" And I looked and I went, "You are joking, aren't you? I'm not worthy to sign the book." He went, No. I would really love you to sign the book." And so I'm trying to find a space in this book. Found a little thing, put my initials, KMC, best wishes, that's it. He was like, "Thank you very much." Then went on to the next person, "Can you sign my book?" And got everybody there on the day to sign the book. But that book was, that book is going to be now probably worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Because it's a one-off. You're not going to get that book anywhere else in the world.
No.
Jeez. That's probably a down payment for a house. And I'm not exaggerating. That is probably a down payment for a house.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I took a fight mate with me, and I taught him the first half of the fight on the ship. So I said to everybody there, because we did an interview and stuff, and I said to everybody there, I says, "If you've got cameras, record this. This is the only time this is going to happen ever." I says, "We're going to do the fight in the ship. So let's go." And we went outside and we did the whole fight for everybody there. So whoever was there has now got that recollection of me and my mate doing that fight, doing the inside of the ship fight.
My brain is just going. So thank you for humoring me with the Whovian geek out for just a little sidestep from official stage combat business.
No,
so as far as COVID times, because unfortunately, we living in the time of COVID, the workshop having to be virtual, but there are all the teachers, we're working on trying to find different ways to stay busy, to keep active, to keep working. And luckily, I don't quite know what the situation is in the UK. The US, we're not going to talk about it. But what is your life right now? What are you up to right now in the time of COVID? And this is kind of a chance to kind of brag about some of the jobs you're working on right
now. I've been busy. I haven't stopped, to be absolutely honest. Yeah, I mean, I had my funeral time of 3 days. So the first 3 days when all my work was being postponed and cancelled. So I had 9.5 months work that went in 3 days. But then after that, I just thought, no, let's just get on with stuff now. So the things that I really wanted to do, that I've always wanted to do, never had the time to do, such as writing up film treatments, proof of concept treatments that I've always wanted to do, to redo my website, redo my CV, look at new technology to see how I can work. So I've been able to have a brand new website, which I built from scratch. I've done loads of POCs that I've got the treatments for, and they are ready to go. And I've been writing a TV script, and the first episode is done. The producer really, really likes it. And so I've got to write another 5 hours now to have a 6-part series, and then that's done. what else? I've been doing my house up. I've been keeping fit. I've been teaching online. I've been teaching live. I've been teaching here at the college. I've been filming because filming hasn't stopped here.
Okay.
So I've been filming. I've done three short films in London. I've been in front of the camera for a TV series that's on in 2 weeks, as well, called Keeping Faith, series 3. So I'm in 3 episodes for that. So that's fun. And I'm on a show called The A-List at the moment, which is for Netflix. So I'm choreographing for that at the moment as well. And then there's another film that's being crowdfunded at the moment called Perusia. That's on my page. So have a quick look at that. And so hopefully that will be shot in December. I start an opera in January, being associate director, fight choreographer, and movement choreographer for that. And also directing. I've just finished one directing a script held piece. I've got another one happening in November. So I'm busy, and then literally from January everything kicks off again. So my work becomes live again. Okay. So I'll be back on the opera. I'll be back hopefully choreographing Regent's Park for Romeo and Juliet. I'll be hopefully working with Whoopi Goldberg for Sister Act, and then doing all my own stuff on top of that as well, and hopefully directing a couple of pieces. So yeah. This COVID has not stopped me. I refuse to stop. And, there's work out there, and I'm like a shark. If I can smell it, I'll go for it. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I'll move on to something else. I don't let it affect me. It's not a, oh my God, I'm not good anymore. I can't do my job. No, there's work out there. Go get it. My agent has been superb. She's been putting me up for stuff. I've done self-tapes. I've done auditions. So to be absolutely honest, I have not stopped at all since March.
Okay.
And I've been earning. I've been lucky. I've had some financial help as well, which we've had over here. Anyway, but yeah, it's been all right. It's been all right.
So what was that? The Netflix show it's The A-List? The
A-List. Yeah.
Okay.
So season 2, I'm on that at the moment. We're filming that at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be definitely added to my my Netflix queue. Very awesome. So for anybody who is just joining us, this is Kev's website right here. I threw it in the comment section as well. So if you want to learn more about Kev and his work, his background, what he's up to, make sure you check out the website. If you are interested in taking a class with Kev with the Philly Stage Combat Workshop, make sure you go to this website to register as a student. If you have any sort of questions regarding questions towards Kev, towards the workshop, towards pretty much anything, throw us a quick email at philascw@gmail.com. Don't forget this craziness. I don't know if it's going to take off, but we'll
like it.
We'll see.
Cool. Can I just say as well, my everybody who knows me, I co-founded our own academy. So I've got Academy of Performance Combat. We're on Facebook as well. We're on we're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We will be on Instagram pretty soon. Just saying that. But we've been running for 10 years now. We're celebrating our 10th year. Well, we just celebrated our 10th year in September. So yeah, thank you. So,
very cool.
So if you're in the UK, hook us up. We'll sort something out for you. All right.
That's great. Yeah, I will definitely keep that in mind because I need to get my butt over there whenever.
Your place is already booked. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Just coming over. When you're over, come to my college. Come to my college.
Awesome.
Cool.
So again, thank you so much, Kev, for jumping on with us. If for anyone who isn't 5 hours ahead of us in time zone, if you want to tune in about 2.5 hours or so, we're going to be back live again with Tori Edel. Tori is a local Philly Philly awesome person who is just recently upped the ante and became a physical trainer. But she's been a performer. She's been an actor combatant. She's been lots of different things, and she's going to be talking to us about shaking off that physical rust, things you can do to stay in shape, things to kind of get your brain a little bit more ready for moving in a workshop kind of setting. So if you're interested, make sure you tune in about 2 hours or so. So 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And once again, Kev, thank you so much for jumping in on this. I will catch you later when we do tech rehearsal over the weekend for the workshop. And hope you have a great rest of your night. I know it's getting pretty late over there. So
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'll speak to you very soon.
Exactly. All righty. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Cheers.